I'm Chef Katie.
And I'm Chef Lexi.
And today we're making chicken parmesan with pasta.
We're going to start out by giving you some of the ingredients you'll need to make this dish. So you're going to need 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. It doesn't matter if you get them raw or frozen. A half a cup of milk, Parmesan cheese, pasta sauce. It can be any. Prego chicken with Parmesan is actually really good. Garlic, about 1 to 2 tablespoons. Pasta, it can be linguine, fettuccine, it really doesn't matter, but fettuccine works the best. And 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil.
To start off, we're going to start off by making the pasta and the sauce and then the chicken and put it all together. You're also going to need a pot for boiling the pasta and a frying pan to make the chicken in.
So before we start cooking, the first thing we're going to do is wash our hands, just to make sure that we're taking all sanitary precautions. So make sure you dry your hands with a dry paper towel instead of a dish rag, because dish rags can hold a lot of bacteria. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is start to prepare the pasta. So we need to turn on the stove to high heat and get the water to boiling. And you know the water's boiling when you see large bubbles and the water is making noise. Once the water is boiling, you turn your heat to medium. And that's when you can start cooking your pasta.
Okay, now that your water is boiling, you want to break your pasta and put it in. Break it over the bowl so that it doesn't splatter everywhere, and then toss inside. You want to cook your pasta for 10 to 12 minutes and stir occasionally to prevent the pasta from sticking to the bowl. Also make sure that all of the pasta is submerged under the water.
Alright, so now we're going to start cooking the sauce for the pasta. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to turn on your stove to low. And there's no right amount or wrong amount to use for the sauce, so you just use an appropriate amount for the amount of pasta you're cooking. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour some in here. That's about right. And then I'm going to turn up the heat to about a medium and let it cook. And you'll notice that it'll start to cook once it becomes more liquefied. And just to add a little more flavor, you can add a little bit of sugar. And then you'll get a spoon and you'll mix that, and as it cooks, it'll mix into the sauce.
Okay, now that your pasta is cooking, we're going to move on to the chicken. To get the chicken started, you want to have a skillet like this and take some vegetable oil and add about 2 tablespoons to the skillet. So this is half a tablespoon, so I'm going to do 4. Okay, now we're going to turn that onto a medium heat and let it melt before we add anything else. Okay, now that the oil is almost melted, you're going to add your garlic. For garlic, the recipe calls for 1 to 2 tablespoons, so I'm going to add about 1.5, still using my half a tablespoon spoon. Now once you've added that, stir your garlic into the oil. And turn the heat back down to low. For our meal, we are using boneless, skinless chicken breast that has already been defrosted. To open it, use a pair of clean, dry scissors and cut. Once you have your chicken out of the packaging, put it on your frying pan. And turn the heat in between medium and hot and cook for 6 to 8 minutes.
So now that the chicken has been cooking for about 3 to 4 minutes on this side, we're going to flip it because the side facing the grill is slightly brown, as you can see. So we're going to flip it so the other side can also get that color. We're going to cook this side now for about 3 to 4 minutes also.
As your chicken is cooking, you want to add about 1/2 cup of milk. And let that cook with it. You may need to turn the heat up a bit. Okay, to check and see if your chicken is done cooking, a good idea is to cut it open. And look at the inside. Since it still looks uncooked on the inside, I'm going to give it another few minutes.
So now that the pasta sauce is boiling, you know that it's ready, and also it has turned from less pasty to more liquidy. So we're going to go ahead and turn that off, and we're going to go ahead and drain the pasta. After we drain the pasta, we'll pour the sauce on to the chicken. So when draining the pasta, you're going to set this here. Make sure that this is over the drain, and just slowly pour the pasta into it. This will get all the water out and make the pasta not stick as much to each other. Now that the chicken is fully cooked, we're going to go ahead and add the sauce that we had already cooked. So as we add it, just kind of spread it on top of the chicken. And this is going to cook for an additional minute. And we'll leave some sauce on the side so we can put it on top of the pasta as well. Now that the sauce has been cooking on the chicken for a minute, we're going to go ahead and add the Parmesan. There's no exact amount you have to add, so you can just add as much as you would like. Just going to sprinkle it on. Once you add that on, they're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and taking the plates, move each piece of chicken and set it on top of the pasta that's already been cooked. And if you want some additional sauce, you can go ahead and sprinkle that on. Just like that.
Okay, now moving on to cleanup. For cleanup, what you want to do is you want to put all of the materials you use back to where they go. Then for your pots and pans. For each of your pots, you want to fill them with hot water and make sure you cover any ingredients such as the pasta or the sauce and let them sit. What you want to do is let the sauce and the pasta come off of the sides of the pot and into the middle, and then you can rinse them and pour them out. You do not want to put any of this in the dishwasher. As for your skillet, what you want to do is you want to rinse it with hot water and scrub it with a brush. Any type of brush will do, and what you want to do is you want to get all the excess out, and you can use dish soap. The key is once you are done scrubbing to just let it sit again in water, dry it with a paper towel, and then let it sit out to dry. Nothing should be going in the dishwasher as this can damage or keep them dirty.
Alright, now that we have prepared our dish and cleaned up, it's time to say our goodbyes. Thank you for watching, and again, I'm Chef Lexi.
And I'm Chef Katie. Have a good night.
Call yourself Lek.
There's a beep.
Why Lek?
Okay.
Please.
I'm Chef Katie.
And I'm Chef Lexi.
And tonight we're going to teach you how to... What did I say?
Good, you're doing it.
Back it up.
My train of thought mess up. Great. Tell me when.
Oh, I already started it.
Oh, you're a
Apparently you're not supposed to break away from the pan.
Onto your frying pan. Have a good night.
Have a good night.